Hi everyone, Marla Miller from marlamiller.com presenting the 8th installment of Show Don't Tell, a series that I introduced in January that profiled the work that I'm doing with my editor on a novel that I've penned called Sweet Spot. So here is the 8th and final installment for a while. I have decided to shelve the project. Pretty much for one reason and one reason only. My protagonist stopped talking to me. And I've talked with my editor about this, and we've kind of come up with a couple of ideas. But I decided to share this with you because I told you from the beginning that I was going to be very transparent about this process of trying to get a novel written that you're proud of, and or not just written but published. And I'm using myself as a model for that. And what happened with Loretta in this story is that I can't find a way to tell it that includes a present day perspective on what she went through over a decade ago. I'm wondering, and I chatted with my editor about this for a little bit, if the fact that I've hit this wall has to do with the fact that this novel was really inspired by my own personal experience. So in that way, its roots are in memoir. Now, I kind of believe that most of us write what we know or want to know more about. So in that way, most everything that we write has some memoir aspect to it, or autobiographical aspect to it. But that's a discussion for over a couple glasses of wine. For now, though, I have been writing and rewriting, and even posted 7 new chapters on a critiquecircle.com and get good feedback. I've certainly learned some things in terms of stealing my own thunder and getting rid of the passive voice that I was surprised had so infected this piece. So it's all good, but I can't figure out a way to tell this story presenting Loretta's perspective today on what she went through back then. And I don't just want to tell the story about what happened back then to this uneducated woman who has a midlife crisis and is compounded by her mother's death, and she blows her world apart, because that's essentially what the story is about. I don't want to just write that story. I want to write that story with a perspective that my protagonist has earned by living long enough. And I can't seem to do it. I really can't. I'm having a really difficult time with it. The other characters are popping off the page. One of the characters, Louise, who's the bad girlfriend, gosh, she steals every scene that I put her in. But Loretta's pretty mute. Loretta, sorry, that's my other novel. Darlene is pretty mute. And I think that she's mute because I can't get over this hurdle of figuring out how to weave today's perspective into a story that was penned yesterday. Tiffany gave me a great idea. She said, obviously she's read all the novel, and the scenes with Mama, specifically Mama's dying scenes, are pretty poignant. And in fact, they're hard for me to read. And she said maybe Mama should tell this story, because essentially Darlene was walking down the same path her mother was when she decides to kind of blow her world apart. And she said, so maybe Mama needs to tell this story. Now, I love that idea, and so I'm going to think about that. But meanwhile, I have another novel that I like very much, and it's politically charged, and it's about the AIDS epidemic in the early 1980s, and features a loudmouth school nurse named Loretta Castorini, and several other interesting characters who most of them are all holding on to secrets, thus the title Deadly Little Secrets. And so I'm working on that now in hopes that I will get that to a good enough polishing stage where perhaps I'll even present that here at marlamiller.com, or get it polished enough to publish it myself or perhaps pitch it, but I don't think I will. I want to indie publish. I really want to indie publish. So that's the story. I've talked enough. So there won't be any more installments of Show Don't Tell. I hope that you've learned some stuff about writing fiction and about how really diligent you have to be to be sure that the story that you're writing is really crafted the best possible way that you can get it crafted. And I can't say that about Sweet Spot. I know it needs another layer, but I got to tell you, I don't know what the layer is. I don't know where to pull it from. So while I'm thinking about switching this entire story over and putting it in Mama's hands, I will continue to edit and revise Deadly Little Secrets, which at this point is exciting me. And while I'm sad to see Darlene get put on the back burner again, you know, everything's for a reason. And if for no other reason, I hope that the message that I'm giving all of you out there is that you should not publish anything that you're going to feel bad about, 2 months, 6 months, 3 years after you publish it. I don't think you should. But given what people publish nowadays, maybe I set my own bar too high, and that could be part of it too. I've been known to be my own worst critic. But regardless, Sweet Spot is on the back burner. Deadly Little Secrets is on the front burner. Stay tuned until the next time. Be well. Keep writing and rewriting.